I had taken some time off work, and me and two friends decided to get out of town. We ended up driving 4 hours down south to the city. It seemed like a long trip too, but we got there in the end. We were staying with one of my mate's friends at her house. It was in a ghetto kind of suburb. It was the city though. You wouldn't be surprised to see what goes on down there. We had gone to the local shopping centre and it was huge, way bigger than any of the shopping centres back at home. We had gone clothes shopping because we were planning to go out clubbing on the weekend while we were there, and also we were checking out all of the cool shops that we didn't have back at home. The night of going out came, and me, my two mates, and our new friend were booked in to stay at a motel in the inner city, near where the clubs were. It took us a while to find the place, but we found it. We checked in, had some pre-drinks in the motel room, and then we caught a taxi to Oxford Street. We walked into a few different clubs, but they weren't that busy and not that appealing. We wanted to hit the main clubs later on, when it got busier. We wandered around Oxford Street for about an hour, and we then decided to go into one of the main clubs we intended on going into. It was busier in there, and as soon as we walked in, we were greeted by strangers, something that I wasn't used to. We were drinking, we were dancing, we even watched a drag show. It was an interesting and fun night, but unfortunately, things were going to take a turn soon. I had gone outside for a cigarette with my friends, and there were other people joining us as well. Everything was great. We went back in, and it was starting to get packed out. My mates wanted to go to the other club to see what was going on there. I had just ordered a drink, so we couldn't go just yet. Although not long after that drink, we left the club and we were out on the street, walking up to the next club. But from there, my memory was very limited. I remember getting to the other club, but I started to feel unwell. Did I drink too much? Or was there something else wrong with me? My head was feeling really heavy, and I started to feel delirious. I just wanted to go back to the motel and sleep it off. My mates were calling me a weakling, but I knew something was off. I got into a taxi and made my way back to the motel on my own. The thing is though, I don't remember getting back to the motel, or even remember getting out of the taxi, or even paying for the ride. The next thing I remember though, I woke up in one of the beds in the motel room, and the guys had just gotten back, and they were plastered, telling me I missed out on lots of fun and excitement, and it was awesome stuff apparently. At that moment my head was too out of it, so I went back to sleep. The others just sat there talking amongst themselves until they passed out. The next morning I woke up before everyone else. Surprisingly though, I felt alright, a little tired, but I wasn't hungover. I decided to shower and go for a walk around the block to check out my surroundings. I noticed there was a McDonald's just around the corner, so I figured I would get breakfast. After eating something fatty and having a coffee, I felt even better, but still a little tired. So I walked back to the motel and was going to lay back down if everyone was still asleep, but everyone was up now, and they were ready to go back to our friend's house. We packed up, checked out, and went back to our friend's house. When we got there, I decided to go lay back down. 3 hours had passed and I woke back up. Everyone was in the lounge room chatting. As I entered the room, I got picked on for bowing out early from the clubs the night before. I had explained to them that something was not right after the last drink from that club. I come to the conclusion that I was probably spiked with something, maybe GHB. I'm actually not sure, but whatever it was, it made me feel ill and very scattered. I was sure it wasn't the alcohol because I was drinking the same thing all night. We stayed at our friend's house in the city for a further day or two, and then we made our way back home.